We are now nearing the end of our ceremony, but first I should like to ask one of our wonderful new graduates and Student Leader Award recipient, Charlie Peters-Hay, to come to the stage and propose a vote of thanks on behalf of all of those receiving awards today. Charlie.
Thank you very much. Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow graduates. It's my pleasure to offer the vote of thanks today from myself and on behalf of all the students graduating at the ceremony. First, I believe that we must extend our gratitudes to the Cathedral authorities for allowing us to use such a marvellous venue here today. Secondly, the ARU staff have done an amazing job of arranging this fantastic day, not least for making our time at the university special. They have worked tirelessly to facilitate our success. Thirdly, we must thank the faculty for providing us with invaluable teachings, all the while taking the time to build relationships with us that for some will last a lifetime. Your continued enthusiasm has driven a sense of inclusion and intellectual stimulus, evidently lifting the quality of our university experience. Today's ceremony represents the ending of a chapter and thus the beginning of a new. The chapter that we now leave behind has been filled with long-lasting friendships, countless hours spent at the library, nail-biting deadlines, and of course, just the right amount of fun. Because university is indeed a balancing act between living and learning. Some living a bit more than learning, but nonetheless today is a clear indication of and a testimony to our ability to lead balanced lives and thus grow as human beings. However, just as we believed and thought that we had mastered this balancing act, a new chapter begins. And this chapter has no predetermined rules. Some of us will choose to step into the competitive and overqualified job market. Some might choose to spend a few more years within the safe confines of academia. And some might travel and choose to explore the world and meet new people. Initially, the freedom of choice will seem scary, and rightly so, because although the possibilities are endless, so are the risks. However, you might recall from some of our first lessons together, higher risks equals higher return. So be brave and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Remember that the great aim of education is not just knowledge, but action. Put your newfound skills to practice and aim high. In the seemingly unsettling and confusing world that we live in now, it's very easy to become worried about career, relationships, and existence itself. So being a Dane sort of makes me a specialist on the matter of existentialism. So trust a Dane when he says, gift dig, og du vil fortryde det. Gift dig ikke, og du vil også fortryde det, which was said by the famous Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard. It beautifully translates to, if you get married, you'll regret it. If you don't marry, you'll also regret it. So live life nonetheless, and don't worry too much about what other people should think of you. There's one more quote I'd like to say, and it's from another great thinker, the professor of psychology from the University of Toronto, Jordan Peterson, who famously said, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. We are privileged to have helped shape the culture at ARU during our time here, and in return, we have been rewarded with memories, wisdom, and a second home. I know that most of you will forget or not remember what I say here today, and if there's one thing that I'd like you to take away, it's this. Wherever your exciting next steps may take you, you'll remember that the university doors will always be open for us. And let that stand as a benchmark along your journey. And lastly, I'd like to thank the families and friends sat here today, because for your support has facilitated our continued learning and development. This is as much your accomplishment as it is ours. And for that, we thank you and we love you. Thank you.
Charlie, thank you, and very well done. I now call for one final time